clarify, because there's a confusion in the mind that
Right.
she doesn't have to pay.
The question is regarding a woman paying zakat on jewelry. Is there a difference between the zakat being, or a person being liable for paying jewelry on zakat if it's given as a gift, and if it's not given as a marital gift, investment, financial, etc.? To keep things simple and easy, I believe that the view of the ulama who say that zakat on jewelry is not obligatory is the strongest view. And if you were to ask me, my personal opinion, I would say she has to pay no zakat on jewelry. It is not obligatory to pay zakat on gold and silver jewelry. And that's the view of many of the ulama of the past. And they have their proofs and evidences for that. And the other scholars of past and of present, they say, bel, they say rather, nay, zakat is mandatory for a woman's jewelry if there is a certain amount, a certain weight, a certain amount of ounces, and she has it for the 12-month period, then she has to pay the zakat on that jewelry. And they have their proofs and they have their evidences as well to support that. So it's a very long argument among the ulama of Islam. I don't consider that to be a strong view, saying that she has to pay zakat on gold and jewelry, or silver and gold and silver jewelry. And from the wisdoms behind this, is just the sheer difficulty. Let's say a woman gets gold and silver jewelry, and she's a poor woman, or all her money comes from her husband. She doesn't work. I married Brother Fulan. I've been married for 20 years. Since then, I haven't went to work a day in my life. There are many women like this. Well, alhamdulillah, brothers take care of them. They give them everything that they need and want. She can't do anything outside the house. She doesn't know how to. He looks after her. And whatever money that she has comes here and there, maybe from him. So now, let's say he bought her a lot of jewelry for the marriage, which is a cultural norm in many places, whether it's in India, the largest gold consumer in the world, or Saudi Arabia, or whatever your culture is. So now she has to pay zakat on something that she doesn't make money from. It's something that was given to her, and that's relatively a hardship. Okay, so the view that I feel is most correct is that it isn't obligatory. If a person wants to be on the safe side and avoid the difference of opinion and give it, it doesn't hurt and harm them, then alhamdulillah, let them pay the zakat on the gold and silver based off of the proper amount, which has been explained in classes. How much gold and silver is obligatory, the weight, how much does it have to be in order for the 2.5 to be paid. And Allah knows best. It's just that simple. Any other questions? Hold on.
Is cupping an Islamic practice?
Sorry. Question says, is cupping an Islamic practice or traditional practice? Cupping, like many other things that we read about or we see that we do, are things that were well known before the event of Islam, before the Prophet came as a prophet and a messenger. There were certain practices of the Arabs, whether social, cultural, medicinal, that they did. Whether they learned them from the Greeks or the Greek, whether they learned them from the Indians, the Persians, trading. The Arabs, they learned many things from different civilizations. And other things they did and they learned from their own civilization, their own culture. And from that is cupping. Cupping. And it was something that was acknowledged in Islam. And it wasn't made forbidden. It wasn't made haram or disliked, like other practices such as al-kay, cauterizing, burn, cut, different practices like this. Not necessarily haram, but disliked, things like this. So therefore, cupping is something that they did before Islam, and it was acknowledged after Islam. The Prophet never said, don't cup, stay away from cupping. All right? So it's permissible in the deen. And it's a means of medicine, not having anything to do with Islam. Now, there are hadiths that talk about cupping and the virtue of getting cupping, and how Jibreel continually told me to get cupped and to get cupped on this night and so on and so forth. Those hadiths are not sahih. They're not authentic hadiths. You may read them in a book or hear them in a khutbah. They do not reach the grade of authenticity at all. So therefore, cupping remains to be something which is medicinal. unless there's an authentic hadith stating there's a barakah in it, there's a reward in it, Allah loves cupping, the angels, so then say it's spiritual. However, the Muslims have practiced it since then. They continue to practice it now. There's nothing wrong with that. And the Prophet's medicine, which you may read in a book, whether it's Ibn al-Qayyim's book or this book, as we said and explained before, is of two types. It's going to be something which is an Arab or Arabian means of medicine. If you want to do it, do it. If you don't want to do it, you don't have to do it. And the second type is going to be the hadith that talks about a seed or an oil or a drink or a procedure in which the Prophet ﷺ says it's a barakah in it. The Prophet ﷺ says that Allah has commanded me to do it. The Prophet says that Allah loves it. Now it's spiritual. It's spiritual. And if it doesn't have that spiritual connection, then it remains no different than chiropractor, going to the chiropractor, taking Tylenol, whatever, acupuncture, a massage, whatever means you want to use. Whatever means you wish to use. And Allah knows best.
One more question to that.
Hold on.
Is all what I know is, like you said, it's not a practice, a cultural practice. But it's permission for women to do that.
For a woman to get cupped? Is it permissible for a woman to get cupped? It's permissible for a woman to get cupped as long as her aura isn't exposed to someone who shouldn't see her aura. Just like a man, of course. You can't expose certain parts of your body unless it's an absolute necessity. And the same applies to a woman. Obviously, a woman's body is different than a man's body. A woman's attraction, so on and so forth, certain things, certain parts of her body have to be covered more than a man. Okay? So if the person cupping her is a woman, and she doesn't see the things that she's not supposed to see from her, there's nothing wrong with that. Just like a man getting cupped. The women become sick, they become ill, and they also have old blood too. As long as best.